So let's talk about the Limkey engine. Yes, I dub it this because it's mine and I made it and it's my concept. What's the problem? It's mine. Also, it's two counter-rotating wagon wheels basically here with a stator wagon wheel in between. Now it's grounded a certain way with these empty spots with these protrusions on the counter-rotating parts that are the wagon wheel. Now you connect them to this axle with a bit of a gear. Now, but the gear has some holes, and the holes are, of course, very much aligned with these spokes. Now, these spokes are a little bit wider. They're a little bit more like a blade, you know what I mean? And there's these blades on the stators. Now, if they counter rotate, we can take from a parabolic spike curve, that's a Hershey's Kiss, here in the rear, making it so that way it goes back towards the end wing tip blades. Of course, they're covered, so of course they're going to go over here towards the front where the intake is as it comes down to then ultimately get sucked in. Now, the reason why is because it was already getting compressed air, but we don't really need to do the compressed air. See, here's the fun part. If you simply just use the right endo and exothermic reactants in a controlled manner, you can continuously have them react. You have to think about scale now. Now, as electricity passes through and heat and cold is generated and different densities of gases and liquids are going on, this of course causes a continuous chemical reaction exchange, both electrically and thermodynamically. Now we have a basic bitch Stirling engine that's counter-rotating. Now, because, basic torque converting is pretty simple, as all you can really do is make it a larger or a smaller gear per se. Now, if I wanted to get more torque, ultimately speaking, from the rotation towards the tip blades using a fluid that I need to exchange anyways, I could then utilize this in what way? An amplification manner of speaking. That gives me a greater amount of value of rotation or a given amount of torque applied. I prefer torque because that's a measure of efficiency for the given engine. Here are some basic magnets if you wanted. Personally, not my choice, but whatever. Here's some coils embedded or inlaid, if you will, to the blades. Pretty simple stuff. As they counter rotate, they have hollow natures to that which is their arms kind of connected to this axle, kind of like a crank. Now, as it expands, two given little chamber areas counter-rotatively expand, doing work energy at the edges, kind of like the most leverage you could possibly get. Now I can give it more time to expand more rapidly. I can also exchange a little bit of that back in. And again begins the cycle. You just have to time it right. Why are you fucking skill issue? Havers?